Day. In the background, the Canadian flag, 60 years old today. The anniversaries. Today is Flag Day in Canada, and we're very proud to be Canadian as what's going on in the world. All right, let's see who's on here. Ida Marie's on in Washington. Great Christopher's on in the UK. Stephen's on in Australia. Joseph's on in Nevada. Monty's on in Saskatchewan. Who else do we have here? Maybe that's it so far. All right. Well, that's good. Welcome to everybody who's on already. I'm going to try to tune this down just a little bit. There, they're not getting as bright. Oh, Christopher's on it in Washington, is it? I keep wanting to say Oregon, but I think you're in Washington, D.C., or Washington State, aren't you, Christopher? Sarah's on in Germany. Eric's on in Hong Kong. Great. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, Christopher. So yeah, Flag Day here in Canada, and Saturday. It is a beautiful sunny day outside, but kind of chilly. It's still, you guys, I see it was 10 degrees in Nevada Celsius. Well, it's, I think, minus 9 degrees Celsius here. Yeah. All right. So what is going on today? This morning, I've been working on stamps again. So we're continuing the process of organizing stamps by continent, by country, alphabetizing them. So that's what's been going on here this morning. Also, for those of my American friends that either are watching live or tuning in after the fact, and if you get a chance, I am trying for the giveaway. I've been trying to get a complete set of all the love stamps for this year's giveaway. There's the first one. That's the one that's Robert Indiana helped design. You can see I'm doing pretty well. This one here, I'm missing the 55-cent one of this. It's the horizontal one. That's missing. And then when you get to the newer ones from 2001 on, there are a few gaps. This is a series of 10. I've only got 5 of them, so I'm missing 5 of those stamps. There are some other ones in there that are missing. Ida Marie just sent me the brand new one. It's not on this list. So she did send me the latest one for the list. So if you're willing, if you have any of those ones from 2001 to 2022, I think is the one we're missing, greatly appreciated, because I'd love to be able to give as complete a set out this year in the giveaway as possible. And my address is in the description of my videos, so that's easy to find. I'm going to be doing the giveaway at the end of the month, so there still is about 2 weeks time before that happens. Carla's on from Mexico, 17 degrees, nice and warm there. Media's on in Finland, 20 degrees in Hong Kong, but very wet. For Eric. All right, Joseph, I'll do that. I've got a list somewhere. I've got a list right here in my hand, so I'll type it up anyways, and I'll send it off to you after. I really appreciate that. Alain's in Montreal, welcome. Roger's on in Athens. And for those, actually, I'll just read them out because some people may be watching this after and said, you know what, I've got one of those, or I've got some of those. I'm missing the 2001 55 cents. I'm missing the 2008 47 and 59 cents. I'm missing the 2011. There's 5 of those stamps that are missing. Lyndon's on in British Columbia. Welcome. 2013 stamp I'm missing. The 2015, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and the 2 dogs of 2023. There was a cat and a dog stamp that came out in 2023. I'm missing all of those ones too. 22 was a set of 2 as well. So yeah, if you can fill in, anybody can help fill in that, that would be great. And I will write those back up though and send them to you, Joseph. Oh, Isabel's on in Chile. Yeah, all right. So we got a bunch of people on now. 16. Three some thumbs up. Add those thumbs up. Let me do the refresh on the poll that's currently up. So the final poll for who are we as a group. So I'm just moving this around so I can see it. Rob, did I finish the roses? I did finish the roses. I can show you those after if you like to. 35 people have voted. It is a 69% in favor of That Dad Guy crew versus 31 for That Dad Guy gang. So please go and vote. It is looking like crew is going to win, and it's kind of been the leader all the way through, so it would surprise me if it doesn't, but love to see a lot of votes for it. The maximum we've had so far is 45, so we're at 35 votes right now. Item Marie says the cat and dog U.S. Valentine love stamps from last year, or a couple years ago, not her favorite. No, but they're part of the set, so I'd like to try to include them as much as possible. Yeah, so let's get back to the Lego roses in case you didn't know about that. Actually, I did post a picture. I think the thumbnail actually was the finished product of it. They turned out really, really well. They're really nice looking flowers. I had them set up against a real set of roses that were here that my son bought his girlfriend, and they look pretty similar. So Lego did a really good job. These ones I won't have to water. We will have them forever. So they'll go on nicely with all the other flowers, Lego flowers that are around the house. So I'm definitely switching gears and going to Lego flowers more than I am with real flowers in my house. A whole lot less work. More work to put them together, but less to maintain them. Steven says there's cat and dog stamps due out in Australia on Tuesday. Okay, we'll see what they look like. I probably actually have seen them because they're in the bulletin you sent. But always nice to see them when they're officially out. Tomorrow we are expecting a snowstorm. Thursday, if you watch the video, put the video out about Cuban stamps. We talked about having a big snowstorm here in Moncton that day. It kind of bypassed us. We didn't really get much of anything, maybe 2 to 4 centimeters of snow and then some freezing rain. So it was kind of messy. Schools were canceled, but didn't really get us in Moncton. Now, I know other areas in the province, in the neighboring provinces like Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia got hit heavier. Tomorrow, they're saying between 20 and 25 centimeters of snow. So once again, we will watch to see what we actually get, when it actually starts, and how it affects work on Monday. For most people here, it's Family Day, so Monday's a holiday, but Canada Post doesn't recognize that as a holiday yet, so we're working if the snow allows us to. Isabel wants to see the cat and dog stamps. Carla. Oh no, Carla was sick yesterday for Valentine's Day, so yeah, it happens. I know Sarah, if you're still on here, Sarah's been sick, so there are sicknesses going around, so just be careful. If you couldn't celebrate yesterday, you can celebrate today. I know for my wife's birthday, we are going out for lunch today. That was the celebration plan. Last night we had a little bit of a takeout brought in, but we're going out today with her parents for her lunch. So that's kind of how we're going to celebrate. Item Marie says we just found the cat and dog stamps. So, all right. So there's 2 off the list for anybody else who is looking at trying to fill in the list. The cat and dog stamps from 2023 have been located by Item Marie and sent this way. Thank you so much. Steven says no doubt to be. Well, that'll be nice to see the stamps one day on an envelope. That's the way they're meant to be used. Christopher said he saw the finished roses at his local supermarket. They had Lego at your local supermarket. That's awesome. Get those snowshoes on. I actually do have snowshoes in the basement, Lyndon. It's been a while since we've used them, though. We used to have them so we could do family treks out in the woods nearby. Those woods are no longer there. They've been developed. Joe's on. Welcome, Joe, from North Carolina. Joseph said they had our first rain over the trace on Thursday after 215 days without it. That's pretty dry. Well, that's what you get for living in a desert area. Not a lot of rain. Joseph, where you are, do they have a hot air balloon festival pretty close? Adam Marie says they're expecting a big snowstorm in DC on Wednesday, Thursday this week. Okay. Roger said the first stamp issue of 2025 in Greece was the iconic Greek stamp artist plus MS. Can you explain that more, Roger? What's the iconic Greek stamp? Christopher says they got 24 hours nonstop of rain. Well, welcome to England. Lots of rain. Oh, you've got two hot air balloon festivals close by, one in Arizona, one in New Mexico. We have one in Sussex, New Brunswick in September, so I've heard of one down there. I've gotten some cards and things in the past about it, so I wasn't quite sure how close it might be to you. Joe said he bought himself a Lego set for the first time, Harry Potter flying car with the Harry and Ron. Nice set. I don't have it, but I know the set. With that iconic blue car from Harry Potter. Artist that designed stamps plus the mini sheet. Okay, that's cool. Wait, that's an interesting take on stamps, having the artist that designed stamps on the stamp. I like it. You'll have to send some pictures of the stamps when they come out. Well, I guess they're already out if they came out on the 29th of January. It's a Ford Anglia. Is that the type of car they're in? I didn't know that. All right. Thank you, Roger. Greece does have some nice stamps. I am trying to find, well, not actively trying to find a country that doesn't have nice stamps, but so far as we've been going through the South American countries, every one of those countries has some sort of beautiful stamps. Whether it's the classic design you like, there's some really nice things about that, or whether it's floral and fauna and animals and all that. Some beautiful stamps have come out in South America. And as I'm going through and sorting, I'm starting to find some more African stamps. I know I don't have a lot of African stamps, but I am finding some, and really nice. Now, a bunch of CTOs in there. And it was brought to my attention that maybe I should do a video about CTOs, so that's probably something that will happen in the future when we do some more research and get some more information and facts about them that you guys might like to hear. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, absolutely. I can just see the names of the people that are leaving comments. So it's showing that there's 18 people on. I can see that. I can see that there's 6 thumbs up. 6 people have liked it. I get a little box next to it that says whether or not anybody's put a super chat or anything in. Those get highlighted for me. Those are the ones that people are donating to the channel or helping support in some way. I don't have anything in that box, but it does show me that. But it doesn't show me who are the people that are actively on. So there could be a bunch of people watching it on their TV or tablets or phones and aren't typing anything. I don't see that. Adam really likes the idea of a CTO video. Okay, good. And I haven't forgotten about the soaking. I just haven't had time yet to sit down and soak stamps. I'm finding the schedule. Now, maybe tomorrow I'll have the time. I don't know. Last week I spent 6 hours sorting stamps, so I could use that time maybe tomorrow to do some, depending on how many postcards I have to write, because I am doing some post-crossing tomorrow. But yeah, I find planning for Thursday's stamp video, doing all the research on the country and trying to get enough information and pictures and organizing the stamps, that takes a lot of time. Carla says, in Mexico, the permanent stamp series are about indigenous embroidery and textiles. Also could be very beautiful stamps. Christopher did some soaking yesterday. Cancel to order, yes, CTO. Yep. Take your time, Joe. I appreciate whenever they do come, but I understand that mailing things is expensive. And CTO is a controversial topic when it comes to stamp collecting. So that's why it kind of makes an interesting video. It can be a, not necessarily pro or against, just defining what it is, different things that you can look into, and whether or not it's something that you're interested in collecting. So yeah, I think it could make a good video. Always interested in stamps, Carlos, so anytime you want to send some up, if you include your address on the envelope with it, then I can mail you something back to it. No problem doing that, so thanks, Carla. Always collecting more. In Mexico, I think my father's got a good amount of Mexican stamps, but earlier on. So, actually, let's just check it out. Skipping ahead, though. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of Mexican stamps. About 8 or 9 pages, that's it. And not in Scott order, so limited amount. I thought he had more. Yes, need to explain. I will indeed, Ida Marie. The USPS costs more than most countries to mail stuff. I disagree with that, especially if you're mailing something within your own country. What is it, about 50 cents, and you have like a postcard rate and things like that? Where within my own country, if I want to mail a letter, it's going to cost me like $1.25 now. Internationally, to send a postcard, a simple postcard, is $3.65. You still have a cheap mail system there. So, yeah, the prices may have gone up for you, and it might be a lot more than you used to, but you're still cheaper than a lot of places. Monty found a bunch of Norwegian stamps. Cool. Good morning, Gary from Surrey, British Columbia. Yeah, I got it. Norwegian, not Norwegian. But if you got lots of stamps, they're more. Stephen says, I almost always get the stamps on envelopes hand-canceled to my order. So they're technically CTOs, but they still have been used to cover the cost of postage. Are they CTOs? You're mailing them on a letter, are you not? Anyways, I won't get into CTOs now. I'll save it for the video. But certainly if you guys have extra information that you want to talk about CTOs, send me a direct message. Maybe I'll include it in the video. Yeah, you're only $1.73 to mail a card internationally. You're almost half of what it costs in Canada to mail a card. Joseph says, I think Cuba must be the last C in South America, so looking forward to what country is next. All right, you're keeping track, are you? Internationally, £2.80 in the UK. Yeah, you're quite expensive, Christopher, because when you do that conversion into Canadian funds, you're like $4.50 or something like that. So you're winning there. €1.25 in Germany internationally. Price is a little cheaper there, so it's good. What are CTOs? Cancel to order stamps. Stamps that are made just specifically for collectors. If you buy them, the cancels are... You'll have to watch the video. It's coming. Not sure when, but it'll come. Gary says, getting hard to put all the stamps on a postcard going overseas from Canada. Yeah, if you're putting like a regular international rate stamp and then adding all the extra postage. I've just been doing 3 domestic rate stamps because I bought a bunch of domestic rate before the price went up. It is still, I'm putting more money on it than I need to when I do it that way, so that is a downside. But until the new international, well, I guess they are out. The new international US stamps are out. They just use the old design and put a new dollar figure on them. Purists would say that CTOs got nothing to you're canceled specifically. In Mexico for the US and Canada, $11.50, Europe $13.50, and the rest of the world $15 in pesos. I'd have to figure out what the conversion is to see what that is in Canadian or US dollars. 7 pesos. I still think that's cheaper though. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Thank you, Joe. All right, so Carla, based on the information you gave me, to send a card inside of inside of Mexico costs 7 pesos. That's 49 cents Canadian versus my $1.25. You're like a third of the cost to mail it. Let's see what your highest one was. It was 15 pesos. Yeah, it costs you $1 to send internationally. You got it cheap. You're cheap to send mail there. S America for South America, just because Cuba's not South America. Okay, Isabel, I get that. I understand. Why I am doing it that way is because my father had labeled his album Canada, US, or the Americas, except for Canada, US. So, yes, I know Mexico was part of North America. So I've just kind of been saying, maybe I've been saying South America way too much. Maybe I should just be saying the Americas, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going in order of what my father had collected in those albums of the Americas. That's not Canada and the US. I've done a whole bunch of videos on his whole Canadian collection. We're up to date on that. I don't think I've done a video yet on his US collection, but I've been tackling all the other ones. So. You know, growing up in school, let me see, where are we here so I don't lose track of everybody. Lila's on, welcome. Okay, I think I'm up to date with your comments so far. Growing up, they used to talk about the Americas in continents. They used to say North America, Central America, and South America. Now I know Central America doesn't exist, but that's how it was regionalized in geography when we studied history or geography about things. So I think the educational system has changed. Certainly now, when my kids went through, they didn't talk about Central America. It was just North and South. So as I'm going through these countries, we are just talking about the Americas. Maybe I will change that in how I talk about it in the video too, not to say South America or anything like that. Welcome. I see we've got someone new on here. Maybe there's lots of new people on here. We are at 18 people on, 11 thumbs up. No Basil here today. Nope, not yet. And no Joe here either. Who said anything about a bot? You said hi, bro. I said hello. Yeah, we have a few of our regulars that aren't on here today, and you know, I understand that we all have lives and can't always be here at the same time. I try to make it as not rigid, but I'm that dad guy. My name's Rob. Welcome. I try to make it routine. I guess that's more the word I'm looking for. So if you're tuning in at this time each week, you're usually going to find me. And I usually say if for whatever reason I can't do it at this time because of family commitments or anything other going on. Yeah. Very good point, Isabel. Yes, depending on your circumstances, cheap has different meanings. So I apologize. I didn't mean to come off that way if that's the way it sounded. in comparison to what I have to pay, it is more inexpensive, but what that is valued at your own dollar in your own economies, you're 100% correct. Lila just read an article about AC/DC stamps in the UK. Yeah, I'd heard that they were putting out a stamp to commemorate the band there. Joe maybe not these days, but when I was younger, they were certainly considered CTOs, at least in Australia. Okay, still talking about CTOs. Well, makes it seem like that's probably a good video for me to cover and do research on. I understand, Isabel, 100%. But if I come off wrong, I certainly want to be let known, because you guys know I don't mean to offend anybody. Joseph in Russia. Oh, welcome, Joseph. You're in Russia. Cool. What area of Russia are you in? Christopher confirms 18th of February, so this coming week, the new AC/DC stamps will be coming out by the Royal Mail. Thank you, Carla. It's the other problem of not necessarily live, because I do the same thing in my videos, is that I generally don't have a script. Yes, the ones that I'm talking about, the history of countries, before I show the stamps, I do research. I write stuff down because I want to make sure that I cover a bunch of things and try to keep it in order. So those, you will see me look down at notes. But these post-crossing videos, so many other videos, it's just whatever comes in my head usually comes out of my mouth. That could be dangerous, but so far it's gone well. And there is this niche amount of people that seem to like these type of videos that I do. And because I put out, a video almost every day, it's a lot of what's going on in my head that comes out. What else do we have? The 20th of February, new Betty. I saw it stamped in the previews. That looks like a really nice stamp, well deserving for a remarkable woman. Lila, very good motto. Collect stamps that you like. Oh, did I get a... Oh, his name's not Joseph. He was responding to Joseph. Gotcha. Thank you. If it has an image that I like, I collect it. I don't mind if it's a CTO. Yeah, that's good. That's why anybody can collect stamps and do whatever they want with them. Lila says she works at the kids' tables at stamp shows, and kids like topics. So they like to collect what they like to collect, and that's great. Roger says, would you be interesting for a vid showing the history of the stock sheets? Mounts when they first appeared. Could be interesting too. My wife came in and looked at some sheets, and there were some stamps. She said, oh, this one looks like it's gonna fall off. I said, no, it's got a hinge on the back. And she said, what's a hinge? And so I had these bags of hinges. And she said, oh, it looks like tape. Well, it's kind of a special tape just for stamps. And then I went on to say that they don't tend to use them as much anymore. It's an old way of doing it, but some people still do. His name is Valerie. Okay. Valerie from Russia. I think I've got it now. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. I've seen some of your comments, so I really appreciate you commenting on the videos and checking out the live stream now too. I try to keep it interesting. Keep it low key. Yeah, I'm open to positive feedback on things, suggestions for future videos, as you can see here too. And kind of store them away. And when I get a chance, I go in and say, okay, now I'm going to do that video, or I've got time to research that. That is so great, Lyle. She said, I had one kid sort through 1,000 stamps looking for a postmark with his birthday. Did they find it? Did they get their birthday stamp? You know, I was excited when I see a cancellation that has my city on it, but to also find a cancellation that has the October 12th, that's great. I'm not generally one that's looking for cancellations when looking at the stamps. I'm looking at the stamps more than the cancels, but I know there are collectors. I have a binder full of postmarks. I think they're Nova Scotia postmarks, but that was what somebody was collecting, trying to get postmarks from every post office in Nova Scotia. It was something I just picked up at a oh, good, they did find their birthday. That's wonderful. There's stuff I was picking up at the auction just to have for video content to show you. Now I have it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's in the library of stuff. It's not really something that I collect, but maybe one day it will go back to the auction, or I'll find someone else who's more interested in that sort of stuff. $20 people on, 13 people giving the positive thumbs up. A few nice hearts floating through there. We don't seem to have Olia on this week either, from Poland. And Charmaine is on vacation, so she's not on today. Joe would love to find a postmark that had his birthday, February 1st, 1983. I know Joe's been collecting coins from his birth year and stamps from his birth year. That was one of the things that I had mentioned ages ago, that I probably could love to get all the stamps that came out from 1974. And so Stephen has sent some stuff, and I've got a few things that I found. I'm kind of thinking, I haven't done anything with it yet, time constraints, but Dad Stamps really like this box that they sent me with all the things, inserts in it. I think one day I'd like to fill that with stamps from 1974. And I'm waiting to see what else Dad Stamps puts out. They're talking about some different things, so I'm waiting in anticipation to see what else comes out. And if I get anything, I'll certainly show it to you. Stephen says one of the things he does collect is stamps issued on his birthday. So he collects stamps on first day covers. So that's another way of doing it too. Finding things that come out on your birthday from around the world. Really would have to keep track of that to find out which came out on what days and what countries. Christopher's looking through his love collection. Wonderful. So any duplicates that fit in those spaces that I'm looking for, that would be great. It's a really nice box. Yeah, you can go to Dad Stamps. They're a company out of California. Just started up. It's really nice. You can use this as your sorting tray. They have singles and doubles inside. This is the single one. They have plastic sheets. You can see the cancel. You can see the watermarks on it. You can put whatever you want at the top. You could put the country flag. You could put the Scott number of it in there, at Stanley Gibbons number, or whatever catalog you happen to sort your stamps by. Really nice product. Christopher says his wife collects 50p coins with the commemorative sides on them. Very nice. I used to be a coin collector when I was younger. And then as I got older and you have adulting to do, bills came in, and a lot of my coins went out the door to pay those bills. Joe found the 1983 Yugoslavian coins. Cool. So you're starting to find some. eBay, is that where you're looking mostly to find those things? Coin shows, coin shops. Do you have a lot of coin shows and shops in your area? Or do you do a little bit of traveling around to find them? My hands are getting very dry. When I deliver the mail, I put a glove on this hand because it's so cold, but I use this hand without a glove because I want to be able to feel the mail to determine letters to make sure they're not stuck together. So I find this hand dries out. I have to use moisturizer and stuff to keep it. So I look forward to spring when it's not cold anymore. Oh, Gary's going to be looking for his birthday too. Everybody's starting to do it now. Beatrix Potter, 50p coins. A lot of coins going through, a lot of coin shops popping back up. Interesting, that's a hobby that's coming back into vogue again. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking out the window because I am on a bit of time constraint. We are going out to lunch, as I've said before, so I'm kind of waiting for my in-laws to show up. They're going to be showing up here, and then we are all going to go together to the restaurant. Carla says she used to collect coins with her brother when she was in elementary school. From the bicentenary, centenary of independence, and revolution anniversary, respectively. Hurry, spring. Yeah. I'm about done with winter. I'm usually always about done with winter after Christmas is finished. So as long as I get a white Christmas, that's kind of all we really want. After that, January, February, March, let's move those months along and get into spring, summer weather again. Gary, we haven't really gotten much of anything. I know Ontario and Quebec got hammered with snow. Nova Scotia's gotten it. Prince Edward Island's got some terrible winds to go with their snow. And northern New Brunswick got it. But where I am, we used to get tons of snow. We're in a bit of a valley here in Moncton. And for whatever reason lately, it's always been missing us. So yes, there is snow on the ground outside because it's been cold. So if we get 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters of snow on a day-to-day basis, it's just kind of piling on top of each other. It's not melting away. But Thursday didn't get the snowstorm. Tomorrow we're supposed to get a massive snowstorm of between 20 and 30 centimeters from starting, I guess, tomorrow evening into Monday. We will see if we get it. If we do get that much snow, it will be the biggest one we've got this year. Which normally by this time of year we've had 4 or 5 storms that big. But I haven't had them yet. The groundhog predicted a long winter. Well, yeah, 6 more weeks. But, if the groundhog hadn't said that, the calendar still says that spring falls the same time every year. So winter was going to last as long as it normally lasts. It's just how severe it's going to be. Lila's getting snow again later this week. Ida Marie is too. Not fond of Groundhog Phil with his prediction. Gary says it's going to go up to 5 degrees there, maybe 11 by next weekend. So I don't think you've got snow on the ground in Surrey anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. Maybe Lyndon, if you're still on. I don't know if you are. You're up in the Rockies in British Columbia. You probably have a lot of snow on the ground. So it all depends on where you are and what you're getting. When I first experienced snow, I thought it would be super soft. Not really. Depends on the snow, really, Carla, because it can be super fluffy and soft. We call it the powder, but other times, like what we got on Thursday, it was heavy snow because it was mixed with freezing rain. So that becomes a hard, dense snow, very hard to lift up. We call it heart attack snow here because so many people go out to shovel their driveways and have heart attacks as a result of it when you get to a certain age. So yeah, you can have the soft, fluffy kind, but you can also have the really heavy kind. Depends on how much moisture's in it, I guess. And Isabel says, I can't wait for summer to end there. Oh, send it some here. Happy Canada Flag Day to you too, Gary. Roger says, I'm very concerned with the Santorini tremors will become the biggest 5.3 on the Richter scale. Anyone else follow the news on this? Roger, I have been watching some of it, or hearing about evacuations, just because, as you know, we were in Santorini not that long ago. So, yeah, we hope the people there are well and that there's no tsunamis and mass devastations as a result of it. Yeah, Lyndon's still on. He's got a decent amount, but we're expecting some today and tomorrow. Super dry here, so it's nice and light. So you get the light kind. Lyndon's a bit of a skier, so it's perfect that he and Lauren get to do a little skiing in the mountains. Stephen also is looking forward to summer being done. Yeah, our southern hemisphere friends are getting the warmth, and us in the northern hemisphere, depending on how north you are still experiencing winter. Joseph's going to get 22 degrees Celsius on the 24th. See, that's in around the perfect range for me temperature-wise. When it gets up into the 30s and 40s, it's too hot. We're not outside enjoying it. It's nice, but it's too hot to be outside. I'm not one of those sun worshippers that's going to go out there and burn. I'm a fair-skinned person, so when it gets to be 20 to 28, that's kind of the range I like. Warm enough, you're out in shorts and t-shirts, but you can be outside doing whatever you want, going hiking in the woods, going to the beach, doing those sort of fun things. When it gets to be 30 plus and the beach is too hot to walk on and you're in the water, but the water's reflecting, so you're burning yourself all the time, that becomes too much. Steven says news on Santorini has died down here. The news is all about the USA. Well, that's everywhere, but yeah, we won't get political. So for all those people experiencing earthquakes and tsunamis and tornadoes and forest fires, and stay safe. The world is a dangerous place. Media says here will be winter holidays, elementary schools, high schools starting from next week, and probably to be spring in April. So for us, we have March break, spring break. That's the school holidays. Usually the very first week of March. Sometimes it's the second week, and sometimes it's the last week of February, depending on what province you're in. So not everybody's going out at the exact same time. Spring by April. It should be spring by April here too. Joe doesn't watch the news. It aggravates him too much. There's something to be said for that too. I like to be informed, but I don't like to have my blood boil at the same point. The world is definitely going through some turmoil. Yes, we have Family Day in New Brunswick, but not everybody gets it off. As a Canada Post employee, we're working. It's not a holiday for Canada Post. But Family Day is in New Brunswick. Autumn starts the 1st of March. Yeah, autumn and fall are sometimes one of the best seasons to have. Spring, I find everything's damp. The snow has melted. You get mud all around. Kind of has that odd smell from the animals who have been outside that's been thawing. Not the greatest. The fall, the temperature is kind of just nice. A little bit crisp in the evening sometimes. So probably between my first and second favorite season. So that and summer. We are getting near the end because my in-laws have just pulled in. I just saw them here. Says, I think BC, everybody's off on Monday, long weekends. And the school holidays next week. I have grandkids coming. Just give me 1 second. I gotta let my in-laws in. Talk amongst yourselves. Shanda! Your parents. Hi. Just on the live. I'll be right back. Shanda's in the other room. All right. Mindy, welcome. You're on just as we're getting ready to leave here. Tell the in-laws we all say hi. Okay. U.S. Monday is President's Day. School will be off. Love the color of the fall leaves. Yep. March 20th for autumn in Chile. Yeah, there's almost a holiday every month now in Canada. So it gets to that point. My wife is on the phone with Day at the same time, so that's why we've got everything happening at the exact same time here. All right. Another storm tomorrow. Geez, glad I'm on vacation. Well, enjoy your vacation, Mindy. Maybe we'll be talking on Instagram. I've got to say goodbye because it's time for me to go out with my wife and my in-laws and have a birthday celebratory dinner for Shanda. I will, Lyndon. I'll pass on the regards to Shanda. Some different provinces, yeah, get different holidays. Everybody else saying goodbye. All right, thanks so much. You guys have a magical week. We'll talk to you soon.